When you have singleness of purpose, one of the things you're going to find is that everything around you starts to relate to that one individual focus. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And boy, I am focused on expressing to Eli and to you the things that make a person or a team successful. And as I indicated, everything around you starts to evolve in that direction. We're in the football season, and I took a look and I said, wow, there's a lot to learn from football. So let's go over some of the things from football that could possibly change your life for the better, that will help you to be the success that you desire and you deserve. Here are some of the football terms. Let's have some fun. The first one is an audible. That's when the quarterback changes the play at the line of scrimmage, calls an audible. One of my main mentors, Bob Anderson, always used to say when we were developing leaders, how is he or she, does she have the ability to TOF? What is TOF? TOF means to think on your feet. If you are going to be a successful leader, you must have the ability to call an audible, to think on your feet. Next one, let's talk about the backfield. All right, you know what the backfield is in football, but the backfield, as far as leadership is concerned, are the people that are behind the scenes, that are doing the things that allow your money players to get the job done. I'm talking about the people that do the cleaning, the people that print the materials, the people that get everything ready for the company to get its job done. And too often, leaders and other people in the business do not appreciate the little things, because it's essential that you have a work area, as an example, that's clean. So when the public comes in, they don't go, boy, what a mess we got around here. And when you add that to the salespeople, the salespeople have a function, they're very, very important. But without the cleaning crew, the salespeople are not going to be effective in their job. So one of the things as a leader is it's critical that you point out to the people that may seem to be doing something that is unskilled. That's what they call it in football, the skilled versus the unskilled. The unskilled actions, that how important they are to the team. The Blitz. Okay, we know what the Blitz is now. The Blitz is when you're sending everybody. Sometimes in business, you have got to send the whole team. You have to have everybody on the same page. You can't have one person blitzing here and not there, because they can pick that up. Everybody must work together. It must be a team effort. Blocking, okay, let's call this blocking and tackling. Doing the basics. Most of the time in whatever business endeavor you're pursuing, there are certain basics that need to get done, and then you have the extraordinary that makes the highlights on ESPN. They don't show the guy blocking on the line so that the quarterback has extra time, but blocking and tackling are key elements, and they happen on every single play. The long touchdown pass doesn't happen all that often, or the long touchdown run doesn't happen very often. But the key thing is, are you doing the basics? And the basics are what I refer to as blocking and tackling. How about the bump and run? The bump and run is when you try and contain or slow down a receiver from going out and running his route so he can catch a pass. Well, sometimes as a leader, it is essential that you perform the bump and run. You have to sit down with somebody, you see that they're not doing something exactly right, and you have to give them a bump, all right? And then what happens is from there, then they have to run and they have to go full bore. But until you give them that bump, then they're going off in the wrong direction. Employ the bump and run. And the bump and run doesn't mean knock them over. The bump and run means correct them. Correct them, put them in the right space so that they can achieve what you as the leader and what the team needs to have done. Does that make some sense? Eligible receiver. Some people are better at sales, some people are better, they're quieter, they're better at being behind the scenes. You have to determine as the leader who your eligible receivers are going to be. And that is a critical piece of success in any business, is placing the people with specific talents in the right spots. So you want to have your eligible receivers lining up so that they can perform at their highest level. What about the end zone? All right, well, that's getting to the finish line. You always have to know where the end zone is. You have to be able to envision the end zone. A lot of times when you watch a football play, you'll see a block here, and then down the field, just as someone's about to tackle, you see another guy come in and make a block. That's because you were able to envision the result of what's going to happen a little bit down the road. That is what enables you to get all the way to the end zone. How about the extra point? As an individual, one of the things that you want to do is you want to give value for your efforts to the people that are receiving them. You want them to say, just like as an example, you go into a restaurant and you see them come out with the flaming dish and everybody goes ooh and ah. That's an extra effort that gets people's attention, that adds to the ambiance of that particular restaurant. It's kicking the extra point. But remember, in life, you don't want to go for one, you always want to go for 2 points. So as somebody that speaks to customers, you want to go out of your way so that that customer is thinking to themselves, I really like this place, the people are treating me right. Always go for 2 with the extra points, which means if somebody asks you, where is this department? You don't just say, well, you go down there, you turn left at hardware. Okay, how many times have you been in, a big store like Walmart or Target, and you ask somebody something, and the store is bigger than 28 football fields, and they say, well, you go down there, you take a right, you see the guy with, the bald guy, and then turn left. Okay. On the other hand, how about you say, come on, let's go, I'll take you there. Always go for 2 extra points. The fair catch. A football term. So what is the fair catch? The fair catch means somebody's kicked the ball and the guy that's receiving it that wants to run the ball back says, uh-oh, they got a lot of guys coming that are going to knock me on my butt. I better make a fair catch so that I don't drop the ball and I don't get killed. Not necessarily in that order. Sometimes you have to, as a leader, say, you know what? This is as far as he or she can go in this particular moment in time. So we're going to stop, and then we're going to reassess, and we're going to start again. Which leads me to the field goal. All right, of course the objective every time you have the ball is to score a touchdown. But sometimes you can't score the touchdown. You've been stopped. There's been a roadblock that has stopped you. But you still have the capability of getting some points anyway. So always make sure that you're making progress. Make sure that you put points on the board. Make sure that you kick the field goal so that you can take a look at the scoreboard and see progress and lift everybody up. Fumble! Okay, you know what? In football and in life, there are going to be fumbles. The key thing is, how are you reacting to the fumble? Sometimes the other team gets the ball, and sometimes you recover your own fumble. Always make sure that you're in a position where you're keeping your eye on the ball, so that if there is a fumble, you're able to pounce on it. And during those times when the other team, the opponents, do recover the football, make sure that you have the attitude that's going to be able to say, okay, this happened, I need to move forward anyway, and accept the situation as it is and move ahead. Intentional grounding. All right, intentional grounding is when you have the quarterback occasionally throws the ball so that he won't get tackled and there won't be a loss. Sometimes as a leader, you have to employ the concept of intentional grounding. What the heck does that mean? Well, as a leader, one of the things that's critical is that you're constantly developing people to become leaders. They need to see progress. They need to see advancement. That's one of the things that helps keep them motivated. Intentional grounding as a leader is when you see somebody about to make a mistake and it's not going to be too critical, you allow them to make the mistake so that they will learn from it. But you keep your eye on it to make sure that it's not going to penalize your team too much. On the other hand, let's talk about the interception. Sometimes you see someone that's about to make a move that is going to cause a major loss for your team, for your objective. That is the time that you must intercept that person and say, look, I see what you want to do, but let's look a little bit further. Let's see what's happening behind the scenes and what is the outcome going to be when you perform that function. So it's necessary that you intercept that person before they commit that heinous act that's going to hurt what it is you're trying to do as a company. How about the lateral? Sometimes what you want to do is, and this is one of the things that leaders must understand, the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. And what I mean by that is, as a leader, people say, well, I'm the one that does that the best, so I'm the one that's going to do it. That's not going to help your cause in the long run. You have to say to yourself, if someone can perform the function that I want to perform here at least 80% as well as I can do it, then I'm going to lateral the ball to them and allow them to do it. That is the way you get your organization to grow and to explode. The last one we want to talk about today is the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage is where the ball sits, you start, it gets hiked, and the play begins. Life is going to be exactly like that. You have to find a new line of scrimmage, a new starting line. Where you started from before becomes less relevant, but you always want to be moving the ball down the field, and you want to make sure that your line of scrimmage is getting you closer and closer to the finish line, also known as the end zone. So there's a lot to learn from football, and we got more things, and like I said, all of these different elements that are football terms do have some meaning in life, don't they? We're going to have some more of these next time we get together, and let's keep in mind, once again, that it's the singleness of purpose. I mean, here I am, my focus, my purpose is to educate, lead, and inspire people to become more successful, for organizations to become more successful, to grow, to achieve what the best results they can possibly achieve. And on a peripheral basis, watching a football game typically is not something that is congruent with that. But when you have that singleness of purpose, once again, you will find that all the elements around you start to relate to your individual purpose. And because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, don't fumble. Get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.